Welcome back to Horticulture Geek. I hope you're ready for a garden tour. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Ray and you're watching Horticulture Geek. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel today. It is a overcast Saturday right now, and I have been working in the garden. I've just about got the whole thing weeded and cleaned and a new layer of mulch put down. It's looking really good. And so I thought, since it was a good time for lighting for the video, that I would go ahead and get out here and do a tour. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and walk through and point out all the stuff that's coming up and all the spring interest that I've got going on. And hey, you like this video, and here we go. All right, so first things first, you can see I have not uncovered the pool yet. That is a project for another week, and I've still got several bags of mulch to get through. But I've got this pot of dianthus here that is looking incredible, looking really good. You can see I've got a fresh layer of mulch. Here's my asparagus. It's getting some big shoots on it. And if you follow me on Facebook, you'll know that I've already got a good crop of asparagus out of here, and we had a good little dinner with that. And I've got some more coming up. So we might have another mess of asparagus here really soon. A big clump of daylily is coming up. This really needs to be divided, but I just let it go. Here I've got some stuff I've been acquiring. So I've got some pineapple sage, some calendula, some lamb's ears that I dug and potted, some sedum, and the name is, I want to call it something that it's not. Hang on. Yes, it is. It's a hollyhock. So I've got a new hollyhock going in there. That is a pot of tulips and lettuce. I've got a squash and a zucchini in the vegetable section already. So now I have not done a lot of work here in the vegetable section. I have a bok choy right there that's still hanging out. It went to flower and it's pretty, so I'm letting it be. But I've still got to come in here and work up this vegetable section. I only did enough under each of these to go ahead and get them in the ground, because here in central Arkansas, even though we are not past the risk of last frost, I have to get these things in the ground and get them going, because by the time June hits, the squash bugs will be all over these things and they'll be done. So I've got my squash and zucchini in the ground so I can get them growing. I've got these cages over them, these cloches, to protect them from bunnies, because, you know, I've got bunnies and squirrels, and I just wanted to protect those a little bit to give them the best chance they could to get established and give me some squash and zucchini. All right, so here we have some onion coming up. That's a green onion that I have planted there. This is a coneflower coming up right here. That's the green twister coneflower coming up. This lamb's ear, I cut back hard, cleaned it up really good, and that's actually where I got the cuttings to root my own from, right over there. You can see tulips. These are the Queen of the Night, I believe, tulips right here. So they're very, very deep purple. So they come out looking almost black. Let me get in here and show these to you. How pretty are those? And then this double daffodil that I've got right here, beautiful. Some more dianthus, and then that whole drift of daffodils right there under the Japanese maple. And I will walk down here in a minute and get a view this way, and it is really pretty. I've got some cabbage and broccoli shoved in this pot, along with just some ornamentals that were left over from last year. Fresh layer of mulch is looking so good. I got this rose bush pruned, so it's good to go. My clematis is coming up. I've got gladiolas coming back from last year, lilies coming up, more dianthus for that early spring interest, a pot of gladiolas and other mixed bulbs, daylily. Excuse me. So this again is another green onion. This literally is just the green onion you buy in the grocery store, and it has a root still on the end of it, and when you're done chopping up the green part, you're left with that little onion crown. I just plant those and it grows into this, and they flower, and I love them. They're really a fun, thick, grassy interest texture in the garden, and they are evergreen for the most part for me. Now in the really cold areas of like zones, 3, 4, 5, probably not gonna be as evergreen. But here, these are evergreen and they flower in the spring, and I love them. And you can see lots of stuff popping up in this bed. Look at this big, beautiful white daff. So it's really nice. So I've got more coneflowers poking through. That cluster of daffodils is done. Just all sorts of stuff. A sage coming through right there. This little pot is looking good. And there's a weed that I missed coming right up in the pot. So we'll get that. More lamb's ear. I got it cleaned up pretty good. I got all the weeds cleaned up in the rock patio. My big clematis there. The sweet autumn clematis. It's already going gangbusters, climbing halfway up its trellis. So here in the next 2 to 3 weeks, it'll probably reach the fence. It grows really fast. And I've been having to come out here, oh gosh, every 2 to 3 days and grab branches and pull them up into that trellis because it's trying to trail out. You can see irises, and there's actually blooms coming on very quickly. So I will have iris flowers here, not too much time. Big clump of coneflower there. Some more lamb's ears. The ornamental onions are coming back really good and strong in these little pots. I have sprinkled tulips in. So here's some interesting tulips. There's some more coming. The candy tuft is looking great. The peony is coming up really good here. This peony always comes out first, and it always flowers first. This one is coming up, but nowhere near as far along as the other one, but it's not too far behind. More daffodils. This is bee balm, and it smells so good. And you can see the blooms on the peonies there. I came in here a few weeks ago and I cleaned this dwarf Nandina up and made room for my clematis, and I moved this yellow trellis over here, and the clematis is loving having a real structure to climb on, and it's already coming up. So I'm really hoping for a good show out of this clematis this year. So I'm enjoying that. More of the green onions. Tulips, dianthus. The red twig dogwood is already budded and leafing out. And I did come in a few weeks ago and give this guy a prune before it broke dormancy. And with a red twig dogwood, you want to bring it down by about 1/3 each year, and I did that. So I pruned out any dead, dying, messed up branches, and then I just cleaned up some good structure and opened it up. So I'm thinking it's looking really good. This is another vegetable patch in the middle of the flower bed. So this soil will get worked up, amended, and we'll plant crops in here. Elephant ears come up right there. I've got my insect hotel here. And if you'll look in here, the mason bees really got in here and used a bunch of these tubes this year and laid their eggs. So I should have some baby mason bees coming out of here really quickly, and then I will come in and clean out all those tubes or replace any that are messed up, and get that back open for the season. And then this is going to be a bird and butterfly waterer right here. I've got to put a saucer on it. That's just a stand for it. And then this is as far as I've got with mulch. But I have gotten the weeds pulled through here. So this rose bush, I didn't do a lot of pruning on this rose bush this year, simply because it's a good structure placeholder here, so I just kind of left him alone. The Calibrachoa are coming back, looking good. They've bloomed already. And these are holdovers from last year. They held through the winter right here in this pot. They did not die, so I'm enjoying these. I've got this pot here. It'll get planted up really soon, and then the rest of this will get cleaned and mulched. This hydrangea is almost fully leafed out, looking great. This one's coming along, and that one's just starting. And I think that's due to the trumpet vine here and this tree here, because they have such huge root systems. I think this guy loses out on a lot of water, and then the further away you get from that stuff, the better it gets. Here's our tea plant, our camellia right here, looking good. And then there's our little water pond. And then that vegetable bed there will also get worked and amended and cleaned up here very quickly. And there's a rose there and a rose there that used to be 3 or 4 foot taller than the fence. And so this year was the year I came in and pruned them down to the ground and cleaned all that up. So that's looking a lot better back there. So there's still some work to do back here in the garden, but we are coming along. It's looking so much better with a fresh layer of mulch and everything cleaned up. All the perennials have had their spring haircuts. They've all been trimmed up, and now they're starting to flush back out. So it's looking really good back here. And in the next few weeks, when I get the pool opened up and get the water rolling, and I'll hook up my water fountains. I still have this water fountain winterized. I haven't uncovered him yet, so I've got to clean him up and get him going. I got a new pot the other day, so I'm gonna do something fun with that. And if you follow me on Facebook, you'll know, oh gosh, back in the fall, I was flea marketing and found this old iron cream separator, completely rusted up. It was very cheap. And so I snatched it up. I think I paid $22 for it, maybe. I'd have to go back to Facebook myself to look at the price, but I don't remember. But it is perfect. I've already got a fern in it. I haven't taken the hanger out of the fern yet. I mean, so perfect. I love it. So I've got a fern that's going to live in here, and I will get that fixed in there better. And then that low, shallow bowl over there that has the tulips in it, once the tulips and lettuce are done, it will live right there. Now this is something interesting I'll point out to you guys. So my amaryllis here had babies, and it had lots of babies. So this is my original parent bulb. I've had this bulb for about 4 years now. I bring it into the garage or the potting shed in the winter and let it winter over, protected in the potting shed. And last year it put out babies. So right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, my camera shot's not good there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 babies coming off of this mother plant. I'm going to leave it alone for this growing season, and in the fall I'm going to pull all of this apart and I will have a whole bunch of amaryllis to go with the one that I started with. So I thought that was interesting. All right, there's my new hose pipe. Y'all saw me open that in an unboxing. I'm still loving it. That thing is great. It's almost indestructible. Here's my artichoke seedlings, not looking so great, and my Bells of Ireland seedlings that I started, not looking so great. Foxgloves and Love in a Puff. I don't know what that's called. Firetails, or cattails, excuse me, not Love in a Puff. So this is my firetails plants hanging out right here, ready to be planted. That's all weeds and debris pulled out of the garden before I mulched, and that is too. So you can see, spring cleanup is very important, guys. You got to get on it. The wheelbarrow planter is looking fantastic. The hostas are coming up nice underneath. These daffodils have put on a great show. They're starting to peter out at this point, but they're still looking good. And then, so obviously I've got some weeds still to pull here, and this whole bed will get mulched as well. I wanted to come down here, and we'll turn the corner here, and doesn't the garden look so good? This drift of daffodils under the Japanese maple, I just love it. Every time we come in the gate and we see this, I just enjoy it. My lilies and daffodils and random stuff I've planted down here are all coming up really nicely, so I should have a real good show down here this summer as well, along the base of the wall. So everything's just looking so nice and fresh. These pots are looking good, the big ones. The little ones are not. All right, and then let's look at this vegetable bed. So here you see my great big long raised vegetable bed, and the kids have their toy cars on it. So let's just start right here. I have sugar peas growing. They'll climb up this little bamboo structure here to give them some support. Here are my onion sets. So I've got a whole bunch of onions right through here. This is a blank zone that I don't have anything just yet. And then I've got cabbages, broccolis, mixed lettuce, 1 kale that survived, and more cabbages and broccolis down here to get those early spring crops in. This side, I started these from seed. I grew them. Those down there I bought at the store because I just didn't feel like this was enough, and I was itching to buy something, as most gardeners are, and so I wanted to buy something and fill this bed up. So that's what I did. Well guys, that's about it for this tour. I just wanted to give you a quick update of how things are looking here in the Horticulture Geek garden. Been working hard, still got a lot of work to do, as you can see. But it's been enjoyable. You know, with everything going on in the world right now, it's a great time to stay at home and work in your gardens, work in your yard, get things done when you can't really be out running around and doing other things. I hope that each of you are staying safe. I pray that everybody that's watching this video is still healthy. If you're not, you know, I hope that and pray that you're seeking medical help and getting that. I know things are scary and tough right now, but hopefully maybe a quick garden tour on a nice overcast, beautiful day will cheer your soul. So if you've enjoyed this video, like I said earlier, I sure would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you saw something in this video that inspires you, then shoot, you feel free to recreate that in your garden. Or maybe you have an idea of something I can do. Maybe you saw a space where you just think, oh my goodness, a so-and-so plant would look so good there. Put it in the comments below, let me know. I do have an unboxing video coming up. I ordered some new stuff and I ordered some more plants. I did a plant order. So I've got some more stuff coming, so there'll be more videos here pretty soon. It's that time of year we all get crazy and see things online and think, well, I need that. And so I did, and I bought it. So it's coming. And I've got more seeds to start. And then I've got a lot of seeds that will go directly in the ground. All my zinnias, corn, okra, all that stuff, you know, will just go directly in the ground. So I won't start it ahead of time. But there's a lot going on, and that's my update for today. I hope you've enjoyed spending a few minutes with me here in the Horticulture Geek Garden. If you're not subscribed for some reason, hey, click that bell and get notified every time I post a new video. Subscribe to the channel and share us with your friends if you think they would enjoy walking around the garden with me today. But until next time, guys, from my garden to yours, I wish you all the best and happy gardening.